What's up? What's up? What's up, my people? This is Brown96 with another episode of the Hip Hop Spot podcast. And yo, how you like my new setup, yo? Hip Hop Spot, my two fucking microphones and shit. Eventually, I'm gonna start using them on the podcast. But you know what I mean? Today we have a special guest. We have the homie, man, Rocky, number one contender from the group Mentes, Diferentes. Man, these homies, they're from Sacramento. They definitely kicking up some dust out there, and coming in with the new album. They're working on it. They're doing their thing. So I have this artist coming in a bit. He goes by Rocky, the number one contender from the group Mentes Diferentes, and I'm gonna throw in this Eminem Infinite LP into the fucking loop right now while I wait for the homie Rocky. You know how I do. Here we go. So how y'all doing out there? How's it going? How's it going? Jiggy James, what's good? On the Sunday evening. How's everything going? Hey yo, my pen and paper cause a chain reaction to get your brain relaxing. A zaniac, the maniac in action, a brainiac in fact, son. You mainly lack attraction. You look insane, whack with just a fraction of my tracks run. My rhyming skills got you climbing hills. Yo, this is the hey, what's up, Rocky? I'm just fucking dropping in some rollouts and shit. Hey man, you guys know about this shit right here? Fuck, this is some dope shit. This is the only album that I like of Eminem. You know what I mean? Busting that shit. But anyway, shit. Today's episode we have the homie Rocky, number one contender. You know what I mean? And shit, we're gonna break it off like this. I'm gonna drop you away, my homie. Yo, what's up,
¿Qué
man?
onda, bro? ¿Cómo estás?
How's it going, man?
Buenas noches, man.
Bien. ¿Y tú, homie, cómo estás?
Aquí, bien, man.
How you
Aquí
been,
just
man?
chilling.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Hey, shit. Shit. I mean, drop it like this, bro. You know what I mean? Like, start from the beginning, man. Where's your roots come from?
Yo soy de Guanajuato, Mexico. I was born in Cámbaro. Came here when I was like 1, man. Came to Sacramento and stuff because that's where all my uncles and like actually my dad came here like a year before me and my mom did, man. And we've been in Sac pretty much all my life. You feel me? So, yeah, man.
Okay. For sure, man. Shit. So, do you ever travel back? I mean, were you traveling? I mean, you can't, right? I mean, did they ever, find a way to travel, travel back and forth? Or so you never got to see Mexico back, since then?
Nah, man. I'm a dreamer and shit, man. Been like that. Like, I didn't know until I was pretty much 18 and stuff, or 17, bro, when I was already about to sign college papers and stuff. It's crazy. Like, my parents kept that for me because they didn't want me to be tripping out and stuff. They wanted me to stay focused in school and all that. So, yeah. Crazy.
Dang. so how shit? I mean, that by itself is its own fucking story right there, bro. Because
Exactly.
I met some people that have they find out just like you did, bro. Like what I mean, they're unaware of the whole situation.
Yeah, man.
Not until what I mean, or they might have heard it. You know what I mean? As a third number, like a third person type of way, and they're like, oh well, that doesn't affect me, so I don't want to learn more about it. You know what I mean? Some people are like, like, I don't want to know about it. But once it hits you, like, damn.
Yeah,
so,
bro. Like,
so what is this about again? Can you run it by me again?
Like I got hit by, like you said, man. Like I got hit by lightning or a fucking pillow full of bricks and shit. Cause I was like, damn, man, is that fuck, man? Everything just started spinning in my head. Like, bro, like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Like, for real, like, because I always asked my parents when I was little, hey, how come, like, we don't go on vacation, like, like, see grandma or something, and they would always just trying to find a loophole out of it, and And damn, man, everything just started clicking. Everything from like when I was little, asking questions and shit, because that's all you do when you're little, just asking questions. But they would always like flip it on you, and it just like hit me like hella much, bro. Because then I was like, damn, bro, I'm just like limited now. Like, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, fuck, I can't do hellish shit now por mi status. You feel me?
Yeah.
And luckily, like we got information on how I was able to go to college. How I was able to pay for it. Found out how much they charge people that come from, other places, man. Un chingo de feria, bro. Like, for real. Like, you really think that people got money where they're coming from and stuff, man? Like, they're tripping. Thousands of dollars, bro, just for one class. Yeah, man. I had a homie that was only taking two classes, and he was paying up to $2,500, bro, for two classes. That's unreal.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy. But yo, like, so what did you like when you were younger? Like, what were you into?
It's into soccer, bro. Soccer, basketball. Like, I try to have a normal childhood and just play with my toys, watch cartoons, just like any kid would, Once, como se llama, I hit, como se llama, junior high, that's when I got serious with sports. Was playing soccer and basketball. And yeah, era mostly my life. Just siempre estaba in the street, like playing basketball and stuff, I grew up in como se llama, different parts of Sac and stuff. The last place I was in was still am in North Highlands and stuff. When I first moved here, it was like the worst place you could ever move to, bro, at the time and shit. Right now it's a little bit more calm, but when I came, it was like there was murders every week, pretty much. Yeah, like she was crazy and stuff, and you didn't see that because like I was like 9, bro, so you're not paying attention to everything that's going on around you. Like I remember stepping into class, bro, everybody como que estaban más listos, bro, como que everybody was like 15 in a 10-year-old's body, bro, because they've already seen so much shit, you know what I'm saying? So
hey, that's funny you say that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? People that know, you know what I mean? And it's a trip that you have to grow up quick around places like the one you grew up in. And not only that, but since they seen it, a lot of these kids going to school seen it firsthand from their brother, sister doing that type of shit. You know what I mean? Into that type of lifestyle. So a lot of these kids were going to school already knowing firsthand what this is about. So they're already awakened. You know what I mean? They're already fucking looking over their shoulders because of that. You know what I mean? So that's to give you a picture for the people that may not have grown up like that. That's how certain youngsters was going to school like. They was going to school with kids that with the flip of a fucking dime, they would just like flip out and just you know what I mean?
It's man. And me, I had to learn it, bro, because I was, out of my brothers and sisters, I'm the oldest one. So I didn't have somebody to guide me and say, hey, don't do this, don't wear this, because you're going to get attention, and all that stuff. I had to learn that shit on my own, bro. Crazy. Pero that's how it is.
You got any siblings, bro?
Yeah, I got a sister and a brother, man. Like, we're hella years apart. It's hella weird, pero como se llama?
They're older.
They're younger, bro. I'm the oldest, but we all get along just cool. I know sometimes when you grow up together, como que there's some that just no se llevan. They're always arguing or always fighting and stuff, but we're all cool and shit. One's 24 and the other one's 15.
That's what's up. So you have to be the one to. So they're looking up to you and shit, huh? They're the ones looking up. You know what I mean? So that's another thing too, bro. Taking it back to how I was saying that a lot of these kids were going to school and they had older siblings. You know what I mean? So that's their first influence. I mean, besides parents, you know what I mean? That's their first influences. And then like for myself, my parents weren't really. I mean, they've been together even till now, but in the sense that they weren't really there much because they were working a lot. Not to like you know what I mean, blame them or anything like that, but it's just like that's the way that a lot of kids grew up with parents, like, you know what I mean, working all day, so the kids are like at their grandma's or at a babysitter's house. You know what I mean? So like there's more
Yeah,
freedom. You feel me? Like, and back then everyone was in the streets. Like all the kids were playing in the streets. Like
yeah,
not like nowadays and shit.
exactly, bro.
Even
There was like
pre-COVID.
hardly
Even
anybody
pre-COVID.
inside and shit because I remember I didn't have no video games like these kids did and stuff. So everybody was always in the street, man.
Mhm.
Everybody on the block would like get together, have big football games or big basketball games, or now we just go around and
Yeah.
see what we could do and find and shit, travesuras, like how kids do and shit.
Oh
But as
yeah.
you get older, the regular travesuras start getting into even more deeper shit, because then people start mistaking you for other people, or you're wearing the wrong thing at the wrong
Hmm.
place at the wrong time, and shit goes bad.
Oh yeah, man. And that's the way. You know what I mean? That's how a lot of kids grow up,
Mm-hmm.
and as a matter of fact, that by itself could have like messed some people up in the head. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Just by being around certain places, hearing certain stories, seeing certain things. You know what I mean? Like I seen death at around like 9 years
dang
old.
man, that's
How old were you when you were like? Because you're saying that there was a lot of violence going on. How old were you when you like seen or heard something that to this day is still stuck in your mind and like it kind of like developed into something else?
probably I was like 11 or 12, man. Like my neighbor got shot and stuff. Like I think
Mm.
somebody was robbing the store in front, and like this guy, like he was calling the cops. He was like pretty much outside, like giving the whole details and stuff, and he came around and he got shot. I think for witnessing like what just happened and shit, and it was hella trippy, bro, because it was like in broad daylight. You feel me? And yeah, that's still
Mm.
stuck. That's still stuck with me, because it's like, damn, man, because that bullet could have been for anybody that was outside. You know, everybody just came out after you heard like the shots and stuff. The cops came, shot the dude too, and it's crazy. It was a wrap.
Dang. Now today's day, so you still
Yeah.
remember it, right?
Oh, damn,
Like
clear.
how did it affect you? How did it affect you now as an adult? Like looking back, how does that type of stuff affect you?
Well, it made you more alert. You know, like sometimes people like because shit has gone around, bro. Like my garage door or my parents' cars like used to get like hit up by people that just used to like drive by drunk, or like por la maldad de hacerlo,
Mm.
or they were shooting up somebody else's house and they were just acting a fool, and
Okay.
people would see who the hell would do it, but people would stay quiet because they didn't want shit happening to them. So it's like,
Uh,
dang, everybody, for the sake of them being safe, they would just keep their mouth shut. And that's how it's
mhm.
always been,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
quédate callado. If not, somebody's gonna, find you. And my house is like the corner house, bro. Everybody knew where I lived, in high school. So it's like, if I really got in trouble, like, they knew where to find me. And and it's
yeah,
crazy that gracias a Dios nada pasó, and like nothing has ever happened besides those
yeah.
little things and stuff. But there could have been times where shit, people could have just came up to my house and just shot me or my family or whatever. But you know, luckily, like
Yeah.
God was always with us.
You
Mm-hmm.
see, that's what's up, man. Like thinking back, bro, and all that shit that was going on around, like the city and shit with like, Brown killing
Mm-hmm.
Brown. Um, Thinking back, it makes me think like, would we be considered, uh, what I mean, like, just seeing it as a racial
Mm-hmm.
thing, like as someone from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a white person is looking into our culture and this
Yeah.
and this and that. Do you think that some people would see it like what I mean? We're doing the oppressor's work. You know what I mean? Like we're taking over the oppressor's work and kind of killing off each other as a hatred towards skin, towards race. I mean, how would you see that?
I don't know, because there's been like homies from like that were either black or white and stuff that would ask, hey, like, why do you guys like fight each other, you know, within gangs and stuff? I mean, it's two different colors, two different this. Why are you guys fighting over colors? Like, that's stupid. Like, they think it's so simple, but they don't know that it has a long history, you know, like traditions on both sides and stuff that, como se llama, to this day is still, you know, it's sadly going on. You know, it'd be stupid if they could just sweep it under the rug. Because if you look at it now, like, if you knew how that shit started, you're like, fuck, bro, like, let's just put it to the
Yeah.
side and, you know, let's keep it moving. Because that's
Mhm.
somebody else's fucking war. You feel me? From way back in the day.
Mhm.
What does that got to do with us now?
Yeah.
Now it's more of like, you shot my homie, so now I got to kill you. It's no longer of
Mhm.
how it started. Now it's like the fact that you killed somebody for me, and now me and my homies are going to do the same to you. And the cycle never ends. It's perpetual. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the reason why we're still in this mess, you know?
And that's what it is, bro. It's a cycle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's kind of like the same issue as the whole thing over there in Mex with the cartels and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much of an effect out there, more because like people from the pueblos are actually standing up and fighting against it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out here, I mean, yeah, you know, you have parents and stuff of that sort, family members that go out, you know, stand with their signs saying no more violence and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. But you know what I mean? For little kids to get up and be like, give me a gun, I'm gonna fight against these people.
Yeah.
You know, like on some peace shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Not on some revenge, but on some like calm that the fuck down already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's some crazy shit. Like once you see that, you know what I mean, it gets to that level,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it's fucking crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like going back to the part where you were saying that, you know, like some people grew up like they're both their parents working and stuff, and you had the freedom to just go out with your friends or do whatever and stuff because you were in the, you know, in the care of a different guardian. Uh, I've seen cases where it's like, okay, just because they didn't have their parents around, they felt like they needed somebody to be around with, you know, and that's when people started like, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you know, these are my bros, you know, because they're always with me. They're there to, you know, give me advice, guidance, and this and that, and get into the
Mm-hmm.
gangs. Other people, I understand, they grow up into it where it's like all their family is a gang member, you know, so they get into it. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, you know, like I ride for my family, you know, all day, every day, and da 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 da. This is not so much of like, oh, I'm repping this game because of this. I'm just like, oh, I'm repping this game because that's all my family knows, and you know, I'm gonna defend them no matter what. And yeah,
Yeah.
man, like, and then
That's a good point right there too, bro. That's a good point right there when you say that that's all my family knows. Like, you know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? That's like that's like
yeah,
generational shit. That's like
mm-hmm,
can't fuck with that. Like that's too deep in it already. When it's generational,
yeah,
fuck. You know
heck
what I mean?
yeah, because
You can get disowned. You can get disowned for that
mm-hmm.
shit.
And it's crazy because in high school, I've seen people that were nothing and then all of a sudden just turned, bro, because they kept getting bullied and kept getting harassed
Mm.
by the other gang just because they looked a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And they would be like, no, you're a
Mm-hmm.
Sureño, or you're this, or you're that. And the more they kept saying no, no, like it felt like they were just like, no, you're bullshitting because look how you dress, look how you're walking, look how
Mm-hmm.
you're mean mugging me, you know, then you must be them. And after a couple more times or fights or whatever, then they were just like, fuck it, okay, I claim, you know, and now like what should we call it? Now I am what you say I am. And all of a sudden they just
Mm-hmm.
change, bro, from a like person that
Mm-hmm.
just didn't want nothing to a person that is like, fuck it, you know, like I'm a fucking, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hurt you bad because of all the shit that you've done to me, you know,
Mm-hmm.
all the shit you put me through my
Mm-hmm.
high school, you know.
Yeah. That's a good one, bro. I seen that too. I seen those
Yeah,
stories too, bro. And actually, I was gonna get into it too. And there's a reason why I'm bringing up the whole, you know, violence and shit. You know what I mean? Because I mean, every every dude that has a story to tell, that you know is talking about hip hop and stuff like that. Like people that have stories, like you know, war stories and stuff
yeah,
like that. You know, we all grew up around that violence and shit like that. So I'm talking about geared to people like that. You know what I mean? Um, there's a reason why I want to talk about this first and get into the fact that how hip hop in general, the '90s hip hop is it was more towards, I would say it would it was a bad guidance,
mm-hmm,
bro. Looking back, it was not only, and I'm talking about in the general hip hop
yeah,
at first, but then once Chicano rap started coming
mm-hmm,
in the game, that made it more hostile for us, raza.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I feel
Because
like it
you
did, bro.
had the whole. Yeah, it
Yeah.
did, bro.
Hmm.
No matter who says what, bro. These artists, you know what I mean, can say nah, can say nah. Well, people can take it for what it is, and they can turn it off if they want. But no, but if they're catchy, if they have a platform, and on top of that, if they're Mexicano just like
Yeah.
us, bro, we people are gonna gravitate towards
Yeah.
it. You know, just like Pac, just like Pac, bro.
Hmm.
A lot of people love him, but and I love his music, bro. But I hate his fucking how he misleaded us,
Hmm.
bro. I hate how he was not a good role model,
Hmm.
bro. He was not. He even said it himself that he didn't give a fuck if he lived or
Yeah.
died. How the fuck is that a good role model? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like his music was something else. I mean, it's something to
Yeah.
listen to, but even that in itself is misguiding, bro.
I think
It's
just the fact
misguiding. You know what I mean?
that he still stayed in that environment, like he couldn't go like,
Mm.
soft and stuff. Like he cannot let his guard down. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's why he still had that thug life shit in him, because that's how he was raised. And like maybe it's
Yeah.
the persona thing where it's like, fuck, if I go soft, then my homies are gonna hate on me. And they're gonna think that I betrayed them or betrayed my hood or something. Because I still hear that to this day too, man. They're like, oh, like since you already made it big, you're too good for us now. Like why don't you come back to the hood?
Mm.
Da, 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 da. And I think about it, it's like, dang man, but isn't the mission is to get out, right? To get
To
out of
get
the
out.
hood? Like why do
Exactly.
you still want to be here
Exactly.
when
Yeah.
you already did your time here? And you want better for not just you but your family. You're thinking about your future.
Yeah. Now, I know it's pretty controversial and shit like that, bro.
Hmm.
But I just like talking to people about what is their point of view when it comes to Tupac and his. Because I mean, to be real, bro, a lot of people died because of his thug life. A lot of people, and that shit went on to affect not only brown, not only black, but just anyone that was listening to hip hop
Hmm.
and that had some kind of anger in them. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? A lot of us till this day, no one has sat me down and oh, this is the way you control yourself when you're
Hmm.
angry. This is the way you control yourself through this. Like a lot of it, raza, a lot of our parents, like either they didn't have the time or they just didn't know how to do
Yeah.
it, how to approach the situation. So we were never like, given that to go about and use it in our
Hmm.
lives and shit. So like, what would we do? We would listen to
Yeah.
music and get ideas from music, how to let go of my anger, how to do
Hmm.
this and this and that. And that shit had a lot of anger within
Yeah.
it, bro. Like the whole thug life, the whole East
Hmm.
Coast, West Coast, and all that shit. That made you think like, well, am I here or am
Hmm.
I there? Who am like going through life as picking
Yeah.
sides. Am I with these people? Am I with those people? Am I this type of dude? That
Yeah.
type of dude. So like that did a lot, bro, to a
Heck
lot
yeah,
of people.
like, but at the same time, like, if you look at it and stuff, at those times, the police would fuck with them a lot, man. Like, the Morenos would get a lot of
Oh
stuff
yeah.
from the white people and stuff. Like, nowadays, we could record and we could catch shit and stuff, and people could get exposed. But
Oh
back
yeah.
then, it was, like, hard, Like, the first one was when, NWA was out, when they finally caught, that Rodney King thing. But
Mm-hmm.
I bet you they were doing more shit to them and stuff. Like, I feel like I would be
Yeah.
enraged, like Pac was and stuff at certain times, because he would go talk,
Yeah.
to the higher up, like, uh, like African Americans, and be like, hey man, why are you there chilling and stuff, man? Do something about it. You're the one that could actually do something. You got the money. Like, why don't we, entre todos hacer algo and stuff, like he just wanted an answer. He wanted, why are we still in the same spot? Why are we letting them do this to us? And now I feel like they're doing that to us now, man. Not just not ellos, like,
Mm-hmm.
exactly, but it's like you're seeing it with the eloteros, you're seeing paleteros, you're
Mm-hmm.
seeing all these videos like surface, that is like, man, what the hell's going on? Now the Mexicans are the ones that are getting dumped on and stuff by everybody. Like, why are we getting all the hate? What are we doing to people? We're just here to work. We're just here to provide and do better. You know what I'm saying? What do you see in that, man?
No, pues I mean, do you feel that this is kind of like linked up? Do you think that all these things link up? Like, do you think they're connected to each other in some kind of way that is kind of like a setup, almost in a way, a setup to have like some kind of race war between like brown and black?
Yeah, I feel like it is, man. Because online, I'm still seeing a lot of like, oh, you guys are doing this because, like, I mean, going into the hip hop shit, you guys are culture vultures because you guys are doing this, you guys are doing that. But it's like, bro, we started this with you guys, man. Us Latinos and blacks, we started this shit, man. Back in New York, back in those times, we started it. Whether we were the ones just breaking and they were rapping, or some of us would rap too and shit. It's like we were there, bro. We ain't trying to steal nobody's culture. We're representing ours through this music, through this hip hop. Where we have a voice as well. And to this day, bro, like I'm glad I'm seeing so much Latino artists come up and stuff, man. It's a beautiful thing because we need to blow. We need to come up. People need to know that we got shit to talk about as well. And we got to put it down for our people, man. Because that's what the Morenos are doing for theirs.
You see?
Real talk.
Oh, yeah, man. Now, in the early 2000s, when Chicano rap was given that name, Chicano rap, and people were acknowledging the whole, the whole scene and stuff like that, what were you into in that time? Like, were you already spitting?
Let me see, like around that time, ¿cómo se llama? Maybe see, it was still like mid 90s, late 90s. I think.
Oh no, like 2002, 2003.
2002 and 3. Nah, I wasn't.
I mean, that was already happening.
I wasn't really bumping Chicano rap. I was still bumping pretty much like NWA. I was bumping Snoop. I was still bumping old school shit and some new shit. Like because everything that would come out, like before I started writing, I would listen to everything on the radio. But then once I started writing, I started seeing that they just feeding you the same bull. Like especially here in Sac. If you ain't known, you don't get no airplay here. That's bullshit. And then I started seeing the game change a lot. It wasn't so much about lyrics and about, how hip hop was and stuff. It was more about, oh, look, I got this, or I got that, or it's a dance craze. And that's when I stopped listening to the radio and just started focusing on my own shit, because you get influenced by it. I feel like that's why hella people just write the same things, because that's all they hear.
Yeah, that's something else that I wanted to get into, bro. But I'll ask it about the whole thing with talking about bling and all that shit. As opposed to talking about some real shit. I'm gonna address those questions once I get into your the music. You know what I mean? Your music and then Mentes music. Now as for being acknowledging that there was a lane for Latinos, for Chicanos. When did you start to think okay, why are they separating us from like the general hip hop? Why are they just giving us this lane? Why aren't we in the lane that everyone else in major hip hop is in?
It's weird. Like I think nobody cared back at the time and stuff. They were just like happy that we were finally getting our voices heard and stuff. Everybody was just getting out there, and but now it's like, dang, why did they do that? Because you would think like, okay, everything is hip hop, right? I mean, no matter if you're from Asia, you're from Africa, whatever, like hip hop is hip hop. Hip hop is universal. It doesn't have no race or anything, no matter of how many people these days try to do that. But it's like, bro, like you could be from anywhere and talk about your experience, your point of view in the world and stuff, and still be hip hop and not be generalized as like, oh, but this is Mexican rap or Asian rap. Nah, it's the same, So
do you think what do you think about this question, bro? Because we use Calo and rap, is that why you think that they gave us our own little category and shit? Because immediately when someone hears like, oh, ese vato coming over here, like that type of rhyme, they immediately give it the label. Okay, you're Chicano rap. You said vato. But when black people say vato, they don't get into that fucking category. Why is it? Why can't they use vato and not be categorized?
I think it's just the fact that we speak Spanish, man. I think that's the only reason, because like I remember back then when I first started, I would either write all in Spanish or all in English, bro, because like it felt like nobody understood Spanish, like it's like people were like, what the hell is that? They saw it like you came from another fucking planet spitting in Spanglish. So it would kind of make me conscious about like, fuck, man, now I gotta change my shit, you know what I'm saying? And then when I got with Mentes, it felt like I was able to combine them without, feeling kind of like generalized or fucking like pushed to a side, like, nah, I don't want to listen to that because I understand some of what you're saying, but not the rest, you know. So yeah, man, like it's weird. I feel like it's just because you have a Spanish name or speak Spanish that the reason that they categorize you in a certain genre other than just hip hop by its own.
Yeah,
Cause bro, like,
that sounds like there's some truth in that,
no fucking lie, bro. Like, we have this thing here every year. Well, it stopped like 2 years ago. It was like an award show called the Sammys, kind of like the Grammys, but for Sac.
bro.
And every time we'd go in, instead of putting us in the hip hop category, bro, they would put us in the Latin category or world music. I'm like, what the fuck? We ain't world music, man. You know, like what the fuck? We're hip hop, bro. Like, but why do they put us in there? Because we have our name, Mentes Diferentes, Latin and shit. So they're like, oh, they must go here. They don't even take the time to listen to your music to even say, oh, dang, these fools are dope hip hop artists. Let's put them in this category. No, they just, oh, okay, it's a Mexican name or Latin name. Boom, they go in this category. Isn't that bullshit? You feel me?
Did you ever ask them like how was it categorized?
Yeah, I think Reckless hit up the guy from that used to work at the Sacramento News and Review of like why for 2 years or 3 years straight we were getting put in that category, and he was like, you know what, ya me salí de ahí porque they suck, man. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It's more like a popularity thing of like, okay, who's known
Hmm.
here? Let's just put them aquí, and oh, like these people, like they just put them in this category because they look like they're Latin and stuff, you know. So they didn't really take the time to actually go out to the shows and know the artists within their hometown for them to be like, okay, you know, like we could actually do this thing right. No, like they were just like, fuck it, you know, como que a todo la aventón, you know. So they
Yeah,
didn't
man.
really.
And it's probably people that don't even appreciate hip hop to
No, and
begin with.
they didn't, man. There was just more of like, we could get this award show going. We charge at the door and we get money for it. That's it.
So, oh, that's it then.
Mm-hmm.
That money, man, that money made people fucking ignorant as fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So at what year did you start writing, bro?
I was 15, man. I was 15 when I first started
What
writing.
got you
I
to
think I
write?
was turning 16 también. Uh, I remember because it was the year that ¿cómo se llama? The documentary came out by the game. And bro,
Oh,
to this
okay,
day, I
okay.
still see that as one of the dopest albums out, bro. Like for real, for real. That shit was like, to me, it was like a complete, well-rounded album because it was very diverse. It had some street shit, some storytelling. It had love. It had, ¿cómo se llama? His life experiences, his point of view of how his hood was. Because when you stay in your block, you only know your block. You only know your town. You don't know
Hmm.
how shit is in Compton, how shit is in other places and stuff. And he gave you pretty much the runaround of or the rundown of how his hood was and how he grew up in those streets. You know.
Hmm. That's what's up, man. So how did you even know how to even write? I mean, of course, a rhyme is a rhyme, but I'm saying like, how was your starting format to writing?
Shit, man. If I can remember, let me see. I would just write, bro. Like I would just start at the top, or first I started with a hook, and then from there I would try to do the verse. And it's weird, bro. Like my writing was hella weird until I actually started formatting it right, where I can like read it without stumbling or mumbling, because I would have a lot of chicken scratch, bro. I would, and my shit would look hella weird. Uh, but these days, man, now I just, let me see. I count 3 lines, put a dash on each one until I have 8. That's when I know I have my 16, and from there, I just like, whatever the beat tells me to write, I write, and there's no limits to what I do. Like my shit has always been
Hmm.
uh, slow, fast at the same time. I would change speeds. Like I would try to do different things that I didn't do in the last verse, and try to apply it to this one, or try to use different flow patterns. You know, so
Hmm.
yeah, just pretty much however I felt, or however I wanted to kill the beat, I would really take my time and just work with it until I was actually satisfied with the verse. But in the beginning, it was just from
Okay.
top to bottom. which I think, I don't know, it was weird, but you know, I guess it worked out.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. And after that, when did you actually start thinking like, okay, I'm writing it, like I can probably spit it, like you know what I mean? When did you start looking around for studios, or did you already have something to record on?
Not really. Like I didn't record until the year after because I started with me and a homie that uh, like we were friends since we were little, and then we, you know, went our separate ways pretty much. I think because he moved, you know, and a couple years later, I found him on MySpace or Facebook, and I hit him up, and we linked up again. And during the years that we didn't see each other, we went through hellish shit, bro. And like I told him, hey, you know what, like man, like because we were listening to the same type of music. I was like, I feel like making music videos. I feel like, you know, getting a camera and start filming, or hitting up the people that made this song and start filming. He's like, you know what, let's just write our own shit, you know, and then make our videos for our own things. And I kind of looked at him like, I don't know, but I just said, yeah, fuck it, let's do it, not knowing what it was gonna lead up to. And from there we started writing, and we were just like, damn, where do we start? Because you know, you're just clueless, like what the hell do we do? But I started looking
Yeah.
videos of, like, you know, the game, or like Jay-Z when they would get interviewed, like at their early age of their career, how they would, like, you know, start, like, you know, writing music. And like that guy, you know, gave me a lot of ideas of how to start. Like I remember the game said uh he would listen to Nas, and he would just, like, he would get his rhymes and turn it into his, you know. So for example, he said there was a line that Nas said, it was life is like an onion and then you die, and he switched it to life is like a blunt and then you smoke, you know. From there he would just switch certain lines, and from there he kind of got the feel of where to, like, you know, where to breathe, where the beat kicks in, where to like start doing the transitions and stuff, you know, and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? Okay, let me try that. And I would do, and then after that, once I started like knowing when to come into the beat or whatever, then I started doing it on my own. I started adding my own flavor to it and stuff. And it took me a while until I found my voice, but once I got it, I was comfortable being able to do any kind of speed or style. So yeah, man.
Mm. That's what's up. Were you? I know everyone has like you know what I mean, has the want to mimic
Hmm.
someone. Who were you trying to mimic?
It's weird. Like he was one of my big influences, but I never sounded like him. I never wrote like him. I always wrote like what you would call it. I felt like I had my own thing, you know, because I would try to listen to other artists, and I'm just like, damn, I cannot find somebody that I could say, oh yeah, I'm writing like him, or I'm sounding like him, or whatever. Because I would listen to a lot of Woody as well. I would listen to, who else at the
Mhm.
time? Well, 50 Cent was still popping at the time, but it's like, you know, they're from the East, you know, they have a different sound, but I felt like I had that kind of like a love for the East because of their lyricism. You know, that's what pretty much would capture
Mhm.
my attention, being able to hit you with metaphors or whatever, and make you be like, damn, what the
Mhm.
hell did this fool just say? You know, and make it make sense. You know, yeah.
Mhm.
So in reality,
So if you were into Woody, and if you were into like think rap like that, like
mhm.
fast rap, then you must have been into
Oh
Bone
hell
Thugs,
yeah,
right?
man! Bone Thugs were crazy,
So
man.
I'm saying, so that never wanted, like you never wanted to go into like that fast rap,
I
none of
would, but
that.
not throughout the whole track. You know, I would spit a couple fast, you know, like bars here and there and stuff throughout my verse, but not just fully, you know, because then I started singing like, damn, that's a lot of words, that's a lot of shit to cram, and you got to
Yeah,
make it
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense. If not, people are just like, yeah, you just say whatever, you know, and yeah, man, like I never done a,
Because I feel like around that time, everyone was trying to do that fast flow,
yeah.
bro. Everyone.
Heck yeah, and to this day, I think everybody be doing that shit, but they're not saying nothing.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You
Not
feel
for
me?
sure, man. See, and let me talk about this, bro, because I've never heard no one really mention this question before because of the whole controversy between
Hmm.
it. But if you are in a way um stuck in a certain mentality that because you grew up with certain
Yeah.
people and you grew up in a certain
Hmm.
place that you can't listen to other music. Like, you know, like for a long time, you know, like I had norteño
Yeah.
homies, I had sureño homies. So like I guess I'm talking about like people that were more on one side more than on the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like if you're in kind of ignorant in that way that you can't expand your mind to think about, because there's dope
Yeah.
music, bro. Like dope music is dope
Mm-hmm.
music. You know what I mean? If you break it down, bro. And if you don't let yourself experience dope music because of what your homies might say, whatever whoever might say what, like that's on some dumb shit, to be real. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The people that may feel some kind of way because, like, you know, oh, nah, this fool kicks it with so and so, I can't listen to that. But it might be dope as fuck. You know what I mean? But like, that's I kind of feel that that's what keeps us from not expanding and giving the proper, you know, respect or the proper listening to a lot of these artists that are coming out, the new
Yeah.
wave. You know what
Yeah.
I
I
mean?
feel like that's how it
A lot of
was.
people are not even giving them the
Heck
chance.
yeah, that's how it was
You
for
know?
us. Like, let me see. I remember in high school, that's how it was a lot, bro. Like, there was like a lot of people that said, "Oh, I can't listen to him because they're from the South, so they're automatically Sureños or whatever, you know." Or Sureños saying, "Oh, I can't bump them because they're from the North," and it's like, bro, like, but like there were certain songs where they didn't even claim their hood; they were just spitting, you know, real life shit or whatever they've gone through and stuff, and it was dope, but because of like, no, I hate them, then they wouldn't bump it, even though it was tight, you know. And I know if back in the day we would try to hit up Mr. Little One or Mr. Shadow or anybody down there and stuff to collab or make music, I know they, you know, because of hood politics or whatever and shit, we wouldn't be able to collab with them. Because no, your guys are from Sacramento, you
Yeah.
guys are from Daniels, and it's like no, we're nothing. We're just Mexicans trying to make dope music and shit, and you know we want to make music with you guys and stuff, you know, and that shit would not be able to happen back then and stuff. But luckily, you know, these days, you know, we're more mature. We understand how shit goes and how it is and stuff. Now it's just focus on this music. Let's get the raza up there and let's make this money, man. You know?
Yeah, yeah. And I give props to Tony A that he's trying to like even tonight, actually right now he's having he has Dino and another artist from Dark Room Familia on his
Yeah.
podcast right now.
Oh yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's on some breaking barrier shit. Like that's on some like when have you ever seen such a thing like that? Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Down south fucking with up,
Mm-hmm.
you know, up north, like that's on some like on some new territory shit. That's dope. And do you feel that that's gonna be happening more often now? Like now that he's kind of, you know, he's showing that it is possible. Do you think that's gonna be more like, you know, easier to transcend into something like
I
that?
know it might take a little bit more time, but hopefully we can be that center keystone and stuff to, you know, let other people know that like, hey, we're here to make music and make sure that our people like feels united. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to. That's the main goal. Unite our people. There's more power in numbers, more power in love than in hate, man. And you know, like if we Latinos get together, bro, just like how Bloods and Crips get together when there's times of like, you know, where it's like, you know, they need support from their own people. I feel like we could be unstoppable, bro. We're the majority here. You know, why can't we get along and stuff and actually like make shit happen, bro? We can run this shit like for real, real talk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I feel like sometimes like I feel like if the whole war started off some on some bullshit, it can easily start up again on
No,
some
yeah.
bullshit.
All it
You
takes
know
is
what I
one
mean?
knucklehead to break the chain, and that's all it is.
A wave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fucking tidal wave and shit.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit. But yeah, man. Let's continue with your writing. So you went into writing, and then where was the first place you recorded
It
at?
was my homie's. It was my homie's house. His brother-in-law was staying there, and he had a little studio in his garage. It wasn't too high tech or anything. It was just like I remember it was like a one of those cheap microphones on the corner, and for the pop filter we had a fucking coat hanger with a pantyhose,
Hmm.
and that's what we used so that we
I
wouldn't
agree.
get the pops in the mic. And yeah, just
I done that shit. Actually, I've done it with one of those
oh,
hairnets. The hairnet. The what's it called? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. But yeah, bro, it's
Yeah,
just
man.
that a Fruity Loop system, and yeah, I remember I recorded four tracks that year, and it got into this compilation mixtape that he made of all the people that he recorded in that studio. And yeah, man, I think I was the youngest cat there, man. I was like 16. Everybody else was already like, in their 20s, 30s and shit. But it was cool. But then after those 4 or 5 tracks, I stopped going because the dude got lazy on me and stuff, man. Was like, oh no, I can't do it today. Come back next week. I would come back next week, and oh, sorry, man, I'm tired from work. I'm gonna just like rest or watch a movie with my girl. Okay, boom. Come back the week after. Same thing, man. Until finally I just got tired and just stopped going, and I started recording at some other homie's house, but that shit was even worse because it was like a little a mini microphone for computer. And I recorded like hella more tracks there, uploaded them to MySpace, and the homie was like, "Hey man, your shit sounds better, man. Come back." But this time he was charging $20 an hour, and I was like, "Hell no, what the fuck?" Shit, I don't even got money of my own at that time. I was like, "Nah, man." Like, I was like, "Thanks, bro," but I'm cool.
Now, as being the first time recording, how did you feel about that? Like, of course you were nervous and shit. Like, how were you able to like knock out that first track though?
I would memorize my verse before I would go. I mean, the first.
Oh, you memorized it?
Like
Okay.
the first one I had to do was kind of like a freestyle. It was like a song done in like 5-10 minutes and shit, because he was like, okay, let me test you real quick. And that one, I felt like that one was like the wackest shit ever, bro, because it was like, hella quick. And of course I messed up because it's like, damn, I just wrote it then and there. But the other songs that I did, like I remember I would practice them all week and stuff, like all 3 verses, because remember back then that was like you had to have 3 verses on your track. If not, it wasn't no full song and shit. So I would like just go through them over and over and over. And my parents would be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Are you estás rezando, okay? Like, what the hell?" Like, they didn't even know what the hell was going on. But I'm all like, getting it down and shit. And by the time like I was in there, I was already confident. I didn't even need the notebook. I would just lay that shit down. And yeah, man, that's how my process was. Be prepared before I would hit the studio. That way, there would be no mess ups and stuff. Because that day that I wrote those quick bars, I messed up hella times, bro, and I felt hella bad. But I was like, I learned, learn from that.
Yeah. That's dope that you went on already being professional. A lot of motherfuckers like even after years of recording still can't be fucking professional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's serious though. Like a lot of people are some fucking bummy ass fools that just like. I remember like I used to go to this one studio out there in Santa Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
It was called fuck is it? Fuck, I forgot the name of it. Audio some shit. Yeah. But people will go and the engineer will be on some like okay, you ready? And the dude will be like, hold on, I have to. I'm not done with this real quick. So it's like, fuck, like you set up the session for what? So you can like waste all your like, nah, like. I mean, I guess the dude had money.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, to be able to just spend his time, not even be productive and shit. But I don't know. Like, I never understood people like that. I never understood people like that will go in it not even thinking about, you know what I mean? Okay, well, let me first get it right so that way there's no mistakes. Like, let me go in there prepared. Like people don't go in it like that.
There was this one guy I remember,
weird.
but this was in college though. It wasn't like at the early stages and shit. This was like later on, like years later. We got this group project. So we all met up at the homie Boogie's house and shit, and he was the dude that recorded the whole Sons of Northern Cali Volume 1 that I did in 2012. And so we took this dude, right? He's a white dude named Nick. And right when he steps in the door, he says, "Smoke break." And I'm like, the fuck, bro? You just got here. Like, what the fuck? And this one got so high, man, that this fool could not remember his verse. Like, he couldn't spell his name. He spelled his name on his rhyme, and he could not spell his name. We were like, what the fuck, bro? Like, talk about, like, like you said, man, not being professional. If you're going there to work, you're going there to work, not get high. You feel me?
Yeah. Man. On that subject, bro, on the subject of, you mentioned that people start charging you even though they have a piece of shit setup sometimes. You know what I mean? Now, as for an artist, bro, as
Mhm.
for an artist, when do you think it, or even if anything, if a certain person has some kind of already a platform where they have their people, they have their crowd of fans and stuff like that, should a real motherfucker start charging features? I mean, what do you think?
Probably if you're actually getting numbers, bro, if you have a like real set fan base where you know, like, dang, like I could give this fool exposure or whatever and shit, then why not? But some dudes are trying to charge up the ass for like
Yeah,
maybe a mediocre verse and shit, bro. That you could have just got your homie for free. You know, if you know that the dude is
yeah.
gonna give you quality,
Not only that, bro,
then
but
yeah, you know,
yeah, not only that, bro, but like, what do they feel? I mean, yeah, there's that money part, but what do they fear that if they just start featuring with a bunch of people, like, okay, how about
mm-hmm.
this? An artist that has already a platform that can be like, okay, if I'm feeling your music, I'll do it, no
Mm-hmm.
charge. But like, people are not on
No,
that shit though. Like, it's about music. Like, people that really love
mm-hmm.
music, that love the fucking like the game, the hip hop, just hip
Yeah,
hop music, bro. Like, you know what I mean? They should just make music, bro. Like, they're already making. I mean, of course, right now, maybe with
yeah,
COVID, you know what I mean. I understand you got to make
mm-hmm.
money. You know what I mean. There's no shows,
Yeah,
whatnot, whatever. Okay, I understand that. But on regular days,
yeah,
no COVID, like, they're already making their fucking racks through the shows
yeah,
and shit like that. Like, come on, like, it's about making good
yeah,
music. You know what I mean? And if there's a dude that is coming up and knows no other
mm-hmm.
way, and you can fucking change his life just by a
Yeah.
feature. Like, what the fuck is that costing you? Like, for
Yeah,
real, you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Like I remember I was already like 5 or 6 years into the game and shit, and it was coming up poco poco. And I remember this dude that barely started like a year back, like he was already charging like $300 for a feature, and then five
Oh,
hundred if he went to your studio to record. And it was like, dude, what the fuck? I don't even charge, and you're over here charging? Like, what the fuck? And his shit was whack.
that's always tripped me out, bro. It's always tripped. And me and Smokey always talk about that shit. Like, we've fucking seen like some people on stage, and we go to do shows or whatever. And after the show, I'll be like, "Hey, what's up, dude? You fucking dope." You know what I mean? And they'll be all right. You know what I mean? We'll just be like, "Ah, you're fucking dope as fuck." Just to,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Oh, you're cool. But they'll be all right. Oh, hey, you done to do a feature? Yeah, I charge 500. I'm like,
Hey, did you
like,
think we were gonna do that to you?
dang. I'll
No,
be
did
like,
no,
fuck,
Brown, did you think that we were
huh?
gonna do that to you when you met us?
Uh, the truth is, bro, we never fucking like dropped our fucking guard, bro. No matter where we go, we always like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised with people nowadays, bro. I'm not surprised with anyone nowadays, bro. Like, people are shady as
Mm-hmm.
fuck, bro. They're like, some people are whack as fuck and like, we charge $200, $300. I'm like, fool, we're better than you, and
Hey,
we're not even boasting up like
easy.
that. Like, the real motherfuckers don't boast like
Heck
that,
yeah.
bro. Like, you guys are real as fuck. Like, you guys carry yourselves like real dudes. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And there's some people that boast and brag and shit, and kind of, to be real, they
Yeah.
suck, bro.
I
You
think
know
the
what I
main
mean?
thing is like,
And
because
it's
I
bad,
remember
bro.
they would tell us that in business class. Main thing is to build a relationship. Like network with the other artists. Because heck, like I might have like a big ass studio that you need, but then you got over there cameras and shit that I need for a video,
Yeah.
and that could be like an even swap. You record at my
Mhm.
studio, but you make my music videos. Like build that relationship and start building that empire. You know what I'm saying? Without like, because it's like, okay, we're in the same boat. Like, why are you gonna be charging if
Yeah.
you're doing the same shows at the same place that I'm doing? You ain't selling out the
Ah.
Staples Center. You know?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, 500 is a lot of fucking money, bro, for something that you kind of didn't even want it on your album to
Yeah.
begin with. You know
Hey, I'm
what
just
I mean?
like, fuck, I can do hella shit with
On the
500.
real though, fuck yeah. Hey, that's fucking like that's fucking strip clubs for
Yeah, you
days,
know how
bro.
many chocolate milks I could get for that? Like that dude from Don't Be a Menace.
Oh yeah, hey, bro, not but like that. See, that's where the game is at right now, bro. That's where the game is
Mm-hmm.
at. Like, there's a lot of fucking whackness that people are allowing to be in
Yeah.
hip hop. There's a lot of fucking whackness, and with people that are saying nothing, people that have no fucking real message. message is just
Yeah.
bullshit. And like I see you guys since the first time we met you guys, the first time I listened to your music, and the first time I heard you guys'
Mm-hmm.
messages, like I knew that you guys don't fold easily when it comes to like, yeah, you know what? You guys can be getting so many more fans if you guys were to, put some fucking females shaking their asses and all
Yeah.
this shit, right? Like, but that's not you guys. That's not what drives you
Nah.
guys. That's not what drives you guys. What drives you guys is to have a message out there and to be dope along with doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what separates the people that are making change in hip hop and the people that are just milking hip hop for what
Yeah,
it's
because
worth.
not
You know
every
what I mean?
music video needs a girl shaking their ass, bro. Like there's some dudes that just do it just to
Yeah.
get the views, and we want to be known like for what we say, our lyrics and shit, than what you're seeing on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like what the fuck? Like sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching a video and I'm just like, what the fuck is this, man? Like it
Yeah.
does not go with what that dude's saying and shit, but it is the
Mm-hmm.
business, I guess. Like but they be racking views. That's the weird shit. People want to
Mm-hmm.
see funny shit. People want to see like
Yeah.
they still use sex sells. Like crazy. They still haven't lost that format.
That's a key word right there, bro. Sex sells. No matter where you go around the globe, sex sells, bro. And the number one place is where entertainment. So you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? The TV is constantly showing you, ads are showing you, you know what I mean? Of course, hip hop's a big fucking
Yeah,
platform. And a lot of people around the world use hip hop for their own gains, whether it's, on some negative shit or on some positive shit. But sex is a big deal, bro. And that shit, like, that's that's a powerful message when you're talking about sex, bro.
yeah. No, you see, man. Now and you have it everywhere, bro. It's like you can't
Yeah.
escape it. People are hitting you up. Oh,
Mhm.
link in my bio. Like, no, bitch. Like, I got bills to pay.
And, see now with the whole thing with like Kid Frost and talking about la
Yeah,
raza and you know rappers that were talking about some influence, some good vibe for Mexican Americans, bro. Um, Nowadays I even heard people say that shit's corny. That's just corny. I want to stay away from that type of shit. That's corny as fuck. Like I I understand how people may see it as like they want to be on
mm,
the new wave, the new generation type music,
yeah,
but why can't they add some of the old into the new? Why they have to just fuck it all at once? I mean, like that had it ranked in fucking numbers
yeah.
for a reason because people were loving it, people were feeling
Mm,
it. It was something for our people, and for it to just for people like, and I'm not fucking afraid to name names with who people that say shit like that, like King Lord
mm,
G. King Lord G has said some shit that like I don't get what
yeah.
he's doing. Like sometimes he's like my people. Sometimes he's like this and that. Like he said like that's old shit.
Mm,
That's old shit. Like how can that be old shit when we feel like
yeah.
that still? We are still going through shit that they were talking
Mm,
about, and certain people are bringing in a new agenda
yeah.
of just smoking and drinking, and which that was already available in the
Yeah.
90s, but they're still continuing that
Mm,
trend, like if it's something to do, like if it's something to back up, like if it's something that will actually help us as people. How is drinking and smoking going to help us as people as opposed to la raza? How the fuck is that? It's non-comparable at all, non-comparable at all. And for people that have a platform to say, nah, that's some corny shit. Because what? Because it's helpful?
yeah.
Nah, you know what I mean? How do you feel about that?
Man, like it's the same thing that what the industry has done with conscious rap. They don't want to have that on the radio. They don't want people to gain knowledge and be smart. Man, they don't want us to rise when it comes to that shit. They want us to stay dumb. So
Mm-hmm.
they keep feeding us the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like making people go to fucking rehabs because they're already on their fucking ninth Xan and shit, or already like dead because of all the drugs that they're doing. And why? Because they want to keep up with their idols and shit, drinking lean and all that shit. Sure, it's cool to party and stuff. We all like little bangers and stuff like that. But if that's all you're talking about, then what the fuck are you doing? Because music is so strong, bro. People get influenced by that so quickly, man. Like going back to what you were saying about like the earlier tracks and stuff about like Chicano rap, how you were saying
Mm-hmm.
that it would influence people, bro. It would, man. I remember
Mm-hmm.
I had this homie that was really trying to get into a gang just cause, and he was just like, man, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like after a while, he's like, man, listening to these people, man, on the like these CDs, it's the devil, bro, because it makes me want to kill. It makes me want to do shit to people, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't really see it like that, but it would trigger something inside of him, you know, that would make him want to do shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I can't listen to that anymore. And I'm just like, fuck, bro. And that's when you would see
Dang.
that it's fucking it's powerful, bro. Like what you're saying in your songs is affecting people, whether you know it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's making them do shit, you know. I don't know if you've seen that interview with Kid Frost when he said that at his meets and greets, people go up to him and he said that one day he really like some guy opened his eyes when he was like, "Hey man, I did a drive by to one of your songs, man," and he was like,
Oh yeah,
"Fuck," he
yeah,
was
I think I
like,
seen that.
"Damn man, I didn't know that my shit went out like that," you know, and it kind of made him step back, like, "Fuck, you know, I need to watch what I say because that could be my niece or my nephew or somebody else's kid getting
Mm-hmm.
shot in the process, you know, because of what I'm telling them to do or because of what I'm doing in my shit, you know."
Yeah. Dang. Now that's some deep shit, bro. That's some deep shit when you get into talking about like even the frequency of
Mm-hmm.
music of certain songs. That by itself can trigger people to do some crazy
Yeah.
shit. Like that controls emotions. That controls your mental state. You know what I mean? A lot of people say that controls the way you think, the way you react to certain things, and it's no coincidence that mainstream media is letting these songs
Mm-hmm.
pass. There may be some crazy ass, weird ass music, but they're letting it
Mm-hmm.
pass. And music that it's supposed to be a good influence for
Mm-hmm.
people, they're putting a stop to
Yeah.
that shit. So it's no coincidence, bro. It's like it's everything's calculated, as it
Yeah, that's why,
seems.
like, if you're seeing, man, so many young rappers are dying because all they're talking about is like, oh, I'm gonna shoot you. I got guns, this and that. Bro, they're all getting smoked at 20, 21, 24 years old. That's crazy, man. Like, why? Like that's a lot. There's even artists that I never even heard about, but they have a huge fan base. But now they're dead
Mm-hmm.
and shit. And like, why? Because of what they're saying in their songs. Some other hood gets mad and they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh yeah, we'll show you," it's
Mm-hmm.
a rap. You feel me? And it's like there's too much
Crazy.
negativity.
Mm-hmm. Now, with all this said, bro, when you guys first got together, Mentes Diferentes, and you guys officially made it into a group, what was the plan? What was the goal for the
It's
group?
crazy because I didn't enter the group until 2000, 2012, and I got knighted in 2013 and shit. You know how the kings would knight the knight with the sword and shit, like
Okay.
supposedly that was like my official entry to the group because I had a group beforehand. I had a group called How We Do, and that was my shit
Okay.
since high school. And
Mm.
2010 is when I met Reckless. We had a songwriting class in college.
Mm.
And crazy enough, it's like I didn't talk to him. He sat on the other side of the room. We were the only two Mexicans in that room, bro. Pretty much, I think the only
Mm.
two Mexicans in college in that Mexican in that music class because it was for audio recording,
Mm.
engineering, all that stuff. We were the only Mexicans in there,
Okay.
bro. Like everybody was just white and black. So it was crazy.
Oh
I'm just
shit.
like, damn, bro. So nobody be coming to college and shit. None, no raza be coming to college. Like, what the fuck?
Mm.
It felt weird, but it was more motivating. Like, dang, we got to do this thing. We got to show people because si se
Mm.
puede. And till the last week of school is when I finally talked to him. No, last day of school. It was weird. Uh, I hit him up. I was like, hey, bro, that was a dope verse you did because we had to do ¿cómo se llama? Our final was to write a song with a group and then perform it. And I was like, hey man, that shit
Mm.
was tight and shit. Like he's like, oh thanks man, you're yours too. And I was like, hey man, would you be down to collab? Luego sacó la tarjeta and he's like, oh yeah, hit me up. I'm like, cool, órale, because I didn't even know he was part of Mentes, bro, until
Mm.
a couple of days they have videos up, and when we went on YouTube, like the first person that comes out on that music video was Rec. I was like, oh shit, that's a dude in my class. And he's like, for real? And I'm like, yeah, fool. He's like, orale. And bro, their music was freaking, it was crazy, bro. It was something that you wouldn't hear in like hella long, bro. It was like hella raza just doing some dope ass fucking bars and shit, man. That I was like, damn, I gotta, let me see if they're down to work. And when I told Rudy, he's like, yeah, man, let's work. And I remember that was what, December. And then I hit him up like in January. I was like, hey, so what's up, bro? You still down to work? He's like, yeah, man, my known beat. I'm like, cool. And I did my verse. And literally, bro, I was like, bro, they're so good that I want to make sure that my verse comes out better than theirs, Because I saw how every single one of them would write, bro. And I'm like, I got to step up my game. So I wrote more than a 16. I wrote like a 24. And then I sent it to him. And then I didn't get no word for like 4 months. I was like, fuck, bro. Like I was like, man, they don't want me to hop in the track. You feel me? I was like, fuck. Was my shit that whack? I was like, fuck, man, 4 months. And I remember my mom was like, man, don't trip. Maybe he's busy. I'm like, 4 months busy? Like, hell nah. What the fuck? So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna just continue and shit, man. Cause, I was like, he's not hitting me back up. And after the 4 months, he was like, hey, bro. Like, he finally sends me an email. Hey, what's up? ¿Cómo se llama? Hey, I heard your verse, man. Like, my bad, I haven't hit you up. I've been busy with school, with work. I just moved to a new spot. Like, I've been just busy, trying to settle in. But I heard your verse. It was dope. Let's get in the lab and record. I'm like, orderly. So, como se llama? We got in the lab, recorded that one, and he's like, hey, you done to hop on this one? He put up another beat. Like, okay. 2 songs turned to 3, 3 turned to 4, 4 turned to 5. And I was in five tracks for that same project, bro. Like it caught me by surprise because I was like, who does that? Who gets a dude that you just barely met and get him into like 5 tracks for the same fucking project, bro? I was like, pretty much like, damn, I was kind of blown away. Like, damn, they're dealing confianza in me to hop on more shit, and that's where it all pretty much started. I started meeting everybody from the group, and yeah, man. Like then I started doing shows with him in 2012 when we released that project, Bongs and Bongos.
Okay, yeah. So now, how many albums is there now? It's 3, right?
Let me see. With this one, it'll be two complete albums, and the rest are mixtapes. So this will be the 10th project.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or
So albums is the third one that you guys are working on, right? The
yeah,
third one, right?
third album, and the other 7 are mixtapes. So yeah.
For sure, man. Hey, so now as for working together, um, what is something that you guys usually like clash on? Because I mean, everyone's diverse, bro. Like everyone has their own, mission when it comes to what they're trying to say, their message. You know what I mean? Like you all have a unison when it comes to like having like building up the raza. Like your guys are talking about the culture and whatnot. But what do you guys usually clash on, and what advice would you give to people that are trying to form a group so that they can like watch out for certain things that is common for group members to like, what I mean, to disagree on?
It's weird. Like we don't really clash, bro. Like that's the weird thing. We have this weird chemistry where it's like we know everybody's gonna drop dope verses, so we don't really like get mad at the rest for writing what they write, because it's like we all have that trust within each other that we're all just gonna rip it. If there's a subject, whoever gets that shit done, because even there's sometimes where like there's some group members that are like, you know what, I'm not gonna get my verse done in time because maybe I ain't feeling the beat, or maybe I feel like you guys can rip it by yourselves and shit, and it's cool. There's no problems there. It's a matter of everybody feeling comfortable, being able to do the verse. If you're not comfortable, then we're not gonna force you. So outdo each other, and in the end, we make something dope.
Yeah. All right. Now as for I've known you guys for a while, you know what I mean? And since day one that I
Mm-hmm.
told you guys are fucking dope, you guys are something else. Like you guys are gonna blow up. Like, what do you think has kept you guys from like going like big? Like, you know what I mean? Like a big, you know what I mean? Oh, like even to the level of like all these other artists that are coming up, like Cat G and whatnot, like a group. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you think is holding you guys back like that?
I think because of the fact that we've been doing this for so long that we're just like, man, we didn't come this far just to come this far, you know. We want to see
Mm-hmm.
how far we could go with this, and we know we could go far. It's just a matter of staying with it. Like because it's really it gets to you sometimes, when you're working, you're not seeing any advancement or anything, and you're just like, fuck, why am I still rapping for it, or why am I still doing this? No estoy viendo results and stuff. But it's like todo viene su tiempo. You just gotta, maybe if it's not your time, it's because maybe you still gotta work on your shit, you still gotta polish it, you still gotta like do something to mejorar, like there's something. But everybody's gonna have their time, and it's just a matter of staying with it. Every artist that I've ever heard through an interview of like when they finally made it big is because they haven't stopped. They continued and continued, even if shit
Mm-hmm.
wasn't going well. They just continued and stayed constant on it. And before you knew it, somebody was bound to hear them, and boom, there they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of not stopping. And
So do you think it's more like either networking or the promoting part of it that you guys are like need to like find another way to like promote yourselves, or because you guys' flow is spot on, you know what I mean? So that's not it. The
mm-hmm,
guys is like compilation as a group is spot on, like it has a good transition from verse to verse, so that's not
mm-hmm.
it. So like what do you think is the chemistry or something that is missing for you guys to be more in the in the eyes of more
Yeah,
people?
it's the networking, man. Like that's what we're trying to do more for this project. The other project is it was mostly us and maybe a couple features from, locals and shit here in town and stuff. But now we're trying to get big name artists, we're trying to get people we looked up to when, before we even
Mm-hmm.
wrote, before we even started rapping and stuff. Uh so yeah, man,
Mm-hmm.
that's why on this project we're working with Mr. Little One, Mr. Shadow, Conejo, and we're like basically the whole Untouchables and stuff. Like we were like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Let's really hit them up and see what happens. Like if they say no, then we just keep it moving. Like there's nothing else we could do, but nothing hurts to try. Just knocking on those doors and shit. And they were willing to work with us because we were dope. Like because they literally told us they're like, man, if we see that this person ain't good, then it's not gonna do us any good because we want to make sure that our music is spot on. They come from other times, bro. In the '90s, your shit had to
Yeah.
be on point. If not, it wasn't making the
Mm-hmm.
album or it wasn't making radio play.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they have a different como se llama, different formula of who they want on their tracks. And
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, you know what, you guys are dope. So como se llama, we won't even charge full price or whatever and shit. And it just starts from there. Once you lay down one song and you stay with it with a connect, hey man, like we want to do another track, boom, slide some feria, and like little by little he's promoting it también. And now his fans are taking an eye on you because you just ripped the shit out of his track.
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know
So that's what's up. That's right there. I think that's key too, bro. That's key when you like. Sometimes, I mean, I guess sometimes you have to pay to be able to like investing. You
mm-hmm.
know what I mean? In a way, I guess it can be seen as
Yeah.
investing. And like it doesn't come right
Nah.
away. I bet it doesn't come right away. It's not. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to like still put in that work. But when is that album gonna be dropping, bro?
Our goal is like maybe like last week of December, maybe New Year. We're still debating on it because we know like supposedly the music industry is down for the holidays, so there's not really stuff
Mm-hmm.
generating, like dinero and plays and all that stuff. So we might just wait till New Year, or maybe we'll drop it like on the 3rd of January or something. But it's like pretty solid from what we have right now. 12, 13 tracks and stuff solid, you know. So, man, I can't
Good,
wait for you guys to hear that shit, man.
good.
That shit's gonna be crazy. Like we've been talking about it all year.
Now, what is the name of the?
We've been talking about it
Yeah,
all.
what's the name of the title
What's
of
up?
the? What's the name of the album?
Well, at first it was gonna be called MD 2020. We might change the name to a different state of mind. You know, that's always been our catchphrase. Mentes,
Mm-hmm.
Diferentes, a different state of mind. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. But that's still pretty much undecided and shit. Yeah, man. Because I don't know. Everything just started changing due to COVID. You know, we had big plans.
Yeah.
We were gonna do big shows, going on tour with Little One and them and stuff. But you know, things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything's on pause and shit. So yeah.
Hey man, ¿sabes qué, bro? This was a dope plática, bro. We gotta do this shit again, bro. This fucking Instagram show only gives it 1 hour to record, so fucking you know what I mean? We gotta do this shit again, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe like after the whole holiday shit, let me know when we can do that shit. It's how you sabes,
Yep.
bro. Um, as for the group and yourself, bro, I wanna wish nothing but further success, bro. Like you guys are gonna fucking do it, bro. I'm always telling that shit, bro. You guys are gonna fucking do it. And you guys are doing it, bro. You guys are fucking
Yeah,
doing that shit.
gracias, bro.
I congratulate
Thanks,
you, homie.
brother.
Congratulations for taking that step that other people won't
Yeah,
take. You know what
thanks,
I mean?
brother.
You guys are
Yeah, man,
doing it.
we still
You
gotta
guys are
make a
doing it.
track, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
ya sabes, bro.
Hell
Hey, ya
yeah.
sabes.
I know
That's
I
for
know
sure,
we
man.
left
All
I
right,
know we
bro.
left hella shit out, pero para la otra and stuff, man, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt, bro. It's always time, bro. It's always time. But gracias very much for giving me this time, homie.